Hey Joey, thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
No problem.
I wanted to take a little bit of time and see if you might want to talk about, I guess, the album that you're about to put out, Bridge.
All right. Cool.
Okay, well, um, have you been working on, I mean, is this something you've been thinking about doing for a long time, is putting together a solo recording?
Yeah, it's sort of yes and no. I mean, I always, that's how the original incarnation of every song I wrote for the last 15 years or something was, with an acoustic guitar. And so something I'm pretty comfortable with, I guess. And I just, I did a lot of demoing that way. And so there were often versions of Lagwagon songs and even Bad Astronaut songs that were originally just me and an acoustic. And some of those songs I felt like something was lost, that was sort of special about the original. And then a little while later I did that Tony Sly split, which was, of course, covers of Lagwagon songs. And hold on, bro, I'm blowing up over here. Oh, it's my friend John Snodgrass calling.
Oh, shit.
I mean, this is important, dude,
Dude,
but this guy is like,
I gotta capture that too.
hey, buddy, I'm doing an interview with Virgil right now, and you're kind of breaking up the party, dude. Dude, you're kind of a dick.
I'm filming you, so.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
The doors and what time you play and all that.
I think we're playing at, I have no idea.
Normal time, John.
No, but I mean, I don't,
You really are doing an interview with Virgil.
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, how you
Oh, I
doing?
like him. Even though he is some kind of something.
Virgil, some kind of something?
He's something. He's Mexican.
That-
He's like one of those half Asian, half Mexican guys. Kind of can't be trusted, but dude, he does a killer job with getting our music out there.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like a Suburban Home commercial.
Well, I'll let you get back to that.
John, I don't know when we're playing. I don't know, but you got to get down here because we got to hang out. I got sound check in like 20 minutes, and I got to get back to the interview scene. But you're coming down, right? He says he'll be here at 7 or 8, 7 or at the earliest or the latest, and I say,
He'll
"All
be there
I'll
right
see
before
at
you
8.
play. Yep.
See you at 9,
See you
dude."
at 10.
Okay, buddy, later. I should have let that get on me because totally like, all right, cool. Then I'll see you about 9 o'clock, bro.
Well, we have documents
Heard that
now.
before, yeah. 7. Anyway, yeah. So so I either had people after the split say to me that it'd be probably cool to do a full length, and that was part of it. And also there was like a draw for me there. I was drawn to it because making that split was a little bit of it was a slightly kind of empty gesture in a way, because I felt like, well, I'm just covering songs that have already been recorded by a band I'm in, and I've already done acoustic versions of these songs years and years ago. And at one point I kind of rounded up all these acoustic versions of Lagwagon songs that I'd done before we recorded them, and I didn't feel that any of them were really good enough to put on that record. So but anyway, so I had some kind of desire to do an actual originals, an original acoustic record, which of course ended up ironically failing it anyway. And I'm going on and on here, but this is actually something I have to say. There's 5 songs, I think, on the acoustic record that are on the new Lagwagon EP, and they were recorded, in most cases a year before that. And that album ended up serving as somewhat of a demo for Lagwagon, because that's how it works when you're in a band of thugs. And
I was going to ask about that. So.
yeah, so basically it's just an irony that record came out first, and that. Sorry, I tried.
I
I
don't know.
tried really hard. There's 2 Afterburner songs on there too.
Oh, that's the other two?
Yeah,
Wow.
Canoe and Non Sequitur.
Oh,
I recorded with Afterburner, but that was really just me and another guy. So,
right.
but it was done in the same studio at my house, so it's
Well-
just like having a guest kind of, and that fizzled. So.
Well, yeah, for me, I got the solo songs first, and so when I heard the Lagwagon versions of those songs, they sounded kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it was just
Yeah,
yesterday that
kind
I
of shitty is
that
what you want to say. They sound kind
I didn't like them at
kind of
first.
awful.
Not awful, no.
No,
Just different. Just
that's
I
what
enjoyed
you-
the solo
that's what
records
you're
first.
insinuating.
No, but we listened to them the other day because I'm like, they'll probably play some of these songs. I should, rock them again. And I
Right.
listened to them on my iPod on my bike ride, and I was like, this actually sounds pretty kick-ass. And I
Yeah,
can
no,
now
they did
come to
a good
terms.
job.
I can come to terms with it now, and I enjoy them.
I figure like the worst case scenario. I know a lot of people when that record comes out are gonna ask me why I did a bunch of songs off the new Lagwagon album, and I'm gonna have to explain over and over again that it wasn't that way. But it's just the chicken or the egg thing. But although I'll have to explain it, I think ultimately it's like whatever. I mean, so there's a couple versions of those songs out there, and hopefully people that listen to the acoustic record, a lot of them don't really even know who Lagwagon is.
Well, it's a possibility.
Just really small, tiny, teeny.
Well, talking about the songs on the album Bridge, can you tell me the inspiration behind The Ramones Are Dead?
Yeah. It started, like a lot of times songs for me, like lyrics will start just with a title, and I think I was talking to somebody and we were just talking about the music industry in general, and I said, "Oh, the Ramones are dead," and I thought, "Oh, that's a great title. I got to remember that." And then I just kind of worked on that idea for a while, and I wasn't really 100% happy with the lyrics because it's unfortunately the kind of idea and metaphor, for lack, if you will, or whatever, that you can go on and on and on with,
Yeah.
And but for me, what it means to me is that Ramones were always my favorite punk band growing up. I mean, when I first got into punk, I'm an old man. Ramones were the band, and I just still would have to say Ramones probably arguably my favorite punk band of all time, and they tie into the vinyl thing for me. I was a giant vinyl. I'm still a vinyl enthusiast, and it's pretty much all we listen to in my house. And I don't know. It's just kind of that romance that came with buying a record on vinyl and the ceremony of pulling it out. I kind of tried to tie that into the song as well, but also the way things have gone, and just this sort of the lack of romance in a younger person's music,
Like discovery
life.
of music.
Yeah, their discovery of music, the fact that the search is kind of gone.
Yeah.
So easy to find anything that you want. Just going to a record store and flipping through, just really hoping, without internet, without cell phones, without any form of communication, to know whether a record's going to be there that you're trying to find.
Sure.
When you find it, or when you found it in the old days, I mean, you would have to actually go get some change and find a payphone to call your best buddies and say, "Dude, I got the record, meet me at my house. I'm going to take 5 buses to get home."
Yeah.
And that's everybody's got a different scenario. That was mine, and I feel like maybe some people are getting slightly cheated by the world they're growing up in. It's just different now. But luckily we have things like Vinyl Collective, that are kind of, and there's been this great resurgence, with vinyl in the States at least. It's not so much everywhere else, but in America it's really happening, and so I'm stoked because there's so many records by bands now coming out on vinyl. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, even CDs, man. When CDs came out, I was like, I mean, I'm dating myself, but when they came out, I was like, what's this bullshit?
I remember that too, yeah.
And I wasn't really sad to see that go, because to me that artwork was a compromise to begin with,
Sure.
But it really has gotten to the point now where I think most people, they go, this is another good reason for not making another argument, that same argument I use for not making full lengths anymore. I mean, they seem sort of obsolete now. I think a lot of people seek out music. They find a band, they might look at some recommendations and download 1 or 2 songs, or they get songs from a friend, through file sharing. And that said, how often do people really listen to a record nowadays in the intended order that the artist had?
That's what's great about vinyl.
And that's why vinyl is awesome, because it controls that to a certain extent.